for being here. Hola, Madrid. Um, Thank you for the GLAW organization for inviting me to this event. But most importantly, thank you for the team for setting this up and for asking me a very provocative question. And the question is, Raymond, would you be able to tell us who is going to win this legal AI race? Now, one of the reasons why they asked me is I've been looking at numbers since almost forever. We have a database at Legal Complex going back to 1984, and we've been tracking financial investments in companies that impact the legal space. So in order for us to give you an answer or to calculate an answer, we first have to look at a couple of things. Three questions, basically. One is, what is the price that a legal tech or legal AI company would win? The second is, how will they win? And the final question is, who will be one of the winners? So what you're looking at right now are two concentric circle charts. Now, the one on your right is all of the legal tech investments that I've collected going back almost 30 years. In total, that is 52 billion. And you'll see in really small letters the market size, which is almost $500 billion. Now, don't focus too much on the market size. We'll get to that point later. But the most important one is the 8,015 companies that were used to calculate this circle. Now, the circle to your left is the circle for governance, risk, and compliance. Now, that circle is a lot bigger. And all of those little circles in between, I'm reluctant to call them bubbles, but they are. They represent how much capital is invested in those specific areas. And you'll see that in total, that is 263 million, almost 3 trillion in market size. But the other important number that you're going to see there is 7,500. So basically, you have less companies going after a bigger market than the legal tech space. Now, what is the difference between the yellow, smaller bubble and the big one? The smaller bubble is technology that is usually for lawyers. Those companies target law firms usually, and the companies in the other bubble, they target companies. So basically, looking at taxes or other cybersecurity as well, identity, supply chain, data analytics. One of the most important ones is fraud detection as well. But here's the cool thing that I discovered. How the companies operate in those particular spaces determine if they're able to succeed or not. And there are a couple of companies that have been doing really well in both of these spaces, but in particular more in the governance, risk, and compliance space, the space that is serving companies. And there actually is already a winner in that space. And the winner is taking legal technology like e-discovery and is using that technology to uncover legal risk at government entities and at larger companies. That company is profitable. And technically, it is one of the most valuable companies in the world, even more valuable than NVIDIA. Anybody has an idea which company that is? Legal tech company? You'll see here two charts. One is NVIDIA, the other one is a company called Palantir. What Palantir does is they deploy AI at government institutions. I won't get into deep about what they're specifically doing because I still like to visit the US in the future and get a sweet vacation. But the most important number I wanted to let you focus on is where you see PE ratio, price to earning ratio. Now, for NVIDIA, that is 53 dollars, and for NVIDIA, it's 600. So, meaning, even though they have technically the same price per share, their revenue is way lower than NVIDIA, and their value per price per earning is way higher than NVIDIA. This makes them technically the most valuable company, not looking at market size, or sorry, market cap, but just looking at price to earning ratio that is in the market today. I wanted to quickly go into who might win. Now, we have law firms in the space, and we have legal technology, and we have GRC, which I just showed you. I apologize for the small, oh, the letters look fine. But this is a chart I made a while ago based on how much revenue a company makes with the number of employees that they have. So we take the total number of revenue that they have, and then we divide it by the number of employees that they have. And you'll see there's a company, Cursor, that is way on top. The second company is Meta, with 2.3 million that they make in revenue based on each employee that they have hired. And you'll see the green bars there are law firms. So technically, law firms are some of the most valuable per FTE or per employee companies that exist in the market today. So not only legal tech, but in overall. Now you have to imagine this calculation of the green bars I made with a law firm and all of their employees, not just their partners. So what if I reduce that number to just their partners? That would make them that would make them technically the most valuable enterprises in existence. Now I want to take a little side quest. The other thing that I discovered, I'm checking how I'm doing on time. The other thing that I discovered is that the legal industry has been around for a really long time. There was, during the Roman Empire in 300 AD, the Roman Empire was struggling with inflation. So the emperor came up with an idea to make a list and set all of the prices and services in the Roman Empire, and I mean 300 after Christ, to stabilize the economy. Guess which service or product was the most expensive in the Roman Empire 300 AD? Legal services. I'll give you another quick fact. OpenAI came out with a report called GDP Vals and looked at all of the industries that have contributed to the gross domestic product for a country and looked at how much they contribute. And they also looked at professions. Now, the number one profession isn't lawyers or legal services, it's software developers, but number two are legal services. Not even accountants or any other industry contributes that much to the legal profession. Now, I want to end by sharing this idea or a dream that I think will happen in the future and who will win. Law firms using technology and maybe reducing their headcount a little bit and using the technology to solve legal problems with their customers. That, I believe, will be the secret sauce based on what I've seen with Palantir and other companies being deployed in the space, might become the winner in the future. And with that, I want to thank you all for this, and if there are any questions. By the way, quick promo, if I may. I'll be back in Madrid. This was my first time, by the way, in Madrid. I've never been here before, but I will be back in January. And what I'll do is I want to try and go into each of these bubbles and discover the products, the players, and the actual profits that companies are making. So there's a little flyer on at the desk over there, or you can screen or scan this code and join the wait list to be at that event. It will be a one-day deep dive. Thank you very much.